Do your hips ever feel heavy, tight, or unresponsive, like they move, but they don't cooperate? Most people think that's just stiffness, but it goes deeper. When the hips stop doing their job, the entire structure above and below them begins to compensate. Your knees work harder than they should. Your lower back tightens to protect you. Your posture shifts, little by little, until standing tall feels like effort instead of something natural. The body rarely breaks in one place. It breaks at the foundation, and your hips are that foundation. But here's the part most men over 50 never realize. When the hips tighten, blood flow through the pelvic base slows. Circulation becomes shallow, muscles switch off, and energy that once felt natural begins to fade. It's not just mobility that declines, it's stability, strength, hormonal vitality, and even how easily your lower body responds when you need power. The good news is this: when your hips finally open, the body wakes up fast. Your stride feels lighter, your spine decompresses, your breathing deepens, and that sluggish circulation through the pelvis, the same circulation that influences strength, testosterone, and performance, begins to return. In the next 10 minutes, we're going to reconnect your hips, restore rotation, activate the glutes, free the pelvis, and teach your lower body how to move again. Stay with me. By the end, you'll feel a kind of freedom you might not have felt in years. Let's begin. 1. Tabletop rockbacks. Come into a tabletop position with your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Press the floor away gently, not aggressively, just enough to lift your chest and create space under your spine. From here, tilt your pelvis slightly backward so the lower back isn't collapsing. Now slowly rock your body forward until your knees move past your toes. Then glide back toward your heels, keeping your hips lifted the entire time. Forward, back. Smooth, controlled, always maintaining that gentle pelvic tilt so your lower back stays supported. As you move, notice what happens around the base of your hips. The deep tissues that often stay dormant begin to warm, the groin softens, the hip capsule opens, and circulation starts to move through areas that rarely receive attention. This is not a stretch. It's a reactivation, a way to tell your hips, wake up, we're using you again. Keep your breath steady. Value smoothness over intensity. You're preparing your whole lower body for what comes next. 2. Deep squat hip openers. Lower yourself into a deep squat. If your heels lift, elevate them slightly on a book or block. Support is not cheating. It allows the hips to open without forcing the ankles to compensate. Place your hands gently on your knees. Shift to the left as you press that knee outward, then shift to the right and do the same on the other side. You're not trying to torque the hips aggressively. You're creating space, then letting your body explore that space. With each rep, imagine the joint opening like a door that hasn't been used in a long time. This movement frees the inner hips, lengthens the pelvic floor, and restores the natural ability of the hips to rotate outward, something men lose quickly with age, sitting, and long-term tension. Work within your current range. If your hips feel stuck, breathe more, push less. The goal isn't depth, the goal is freedom. 3. 90/90 rotation plus pigeon fold. Sit down with one leg in front, knee bent at 90 degrees, and the other leg behind you, also at 90 degrees. This position alone begins restoring the rotational abilities of your hips. First, sit tall. Lift your chest, widen your collarbones, and imagine your pelvis rotating forward ever so slightly on the front leg. Then gently rise up, open the hips, and as you come down, lean slowly toward that front shin, folding into a modified pigeon. Don't chase depth. Chase sensation, the right kind. Deep, steady, present, but never sharp. This movement trains 3 things almost no exercise hits at once: external rotation, internal rotation, and active mobility through the entire hip capsule. If the front knee feels pressure, reduce the angle, or lift your torso more upright. Men over 50 often carry years of built-up tension here. The goal is to meet your body where it is, not where it used to be. After 1 minute, switch sides. Notice how one side might feel heavier, tighter, or less coordinated. That's normal. It simply shows which hip has been doing more of the work in your daily life. Every breath here helps restore blood flow around the pelvic base. A subtle but powerful shift. 4. Hip bridges. Lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet hip-width apart. Before lifting, tilt your pelvis slightly backward so your lower back flattens gently into the ground. This protects the spine and allows your glutes to actually do the work. Press through your heels and lift your hips upward. Hold the top for 1 full breath. Lower slowly. Again, lift, breathe, lower. When the glutes activate properly, everything downstream improves. Hip extension, lower back stability, gait mechanics, and even circulation through the pelvis, a key driver for hormonal support in men. If you feel confident, extend one leg and perform gentle single-leg bridges only if your hips stay level and your lower back feels secure. This isn't about power, it's about waking up muscles that make men feel younger, stronger, and more stable again. 5. Cossack flow. Stand with your feet wide apart. Shift your weight onto one side, bending that knee and letting your hips sink toward the heel. The other leg stays straight, toes pointing upward or forward depending on your mobility. As you drop into the side, think of your adductors, the inner thigh muscles, lengthening and supporting the hip. These muscles are deeply connected to pelvic stability and often become weak from long hours of sitting. If balance is difficult, hold onto a wall, chair, or pole. Support allows better form and deeper work. Now transition slowly to the other side. Left, right. Smooth, continuous movement. This lateral motion is essential. Most men spend their entire lives moving forward and backward, never sideways. But the hips are designed for 360 degrees of motion, and when you reclaim these angles, everything from stability to circulation improves dramatically. Work at your pace. Let the body adjust to the new range. 6. Half-kneeling hip opener plus circles. Move into a half-kneeling position. One knee down, the other foot forward. Before anything else, tilt your pelvis backward. You'll immediately feel the front of the hip engage, a deep muscle that rarely gets opened properly. From here, push your hips gently forward until you feel that long, vertical stretch through the front of the hip and the lower abdominal line. Hold for a moment. Then ease back. Repeat this 5 times. Now, in the same stance, start drawing slow circles with your pelvis. Clockwise first, then counterclockwise. These circles train the hip to explore its full range in a controlled, supported way. You'll feel subtle areas awaken, places that often cause stiffness, imbalance, or reduced power output. This movement also influences the tissues surrounding the pelvic base, improving the way blood moves through it and helping restore the responsiveness. Men tend to lose gradually after 50 switch sides after 1 minute. Move patiently. This exercise alone can change the way your hips feel when you walk, stand, or even breathe. 7. Squat to hinge flow. Stand tall. Drop slowly into a comfortable squat. Depth doesn't matter. From the squat, rise halfway and transition into a gentle hip hinge, sending your hips backward while keeping your spine long. Squat, hinge, squat, hinge. This teaches your body how to shift between flexion and extension, 2 patterns that define how well your hips age. The hinge portion stretches the entire posterior chain. The squat portion trains coordinated hip movement. Together, they restore the hip's natural ability to move as a unit instead of separate parts. Take your time. Blend each position into the next. You're teaching your body a pattern it was designed to have, one that often fades with years of stiffness. As you come back to standing, pause for a moment. Feel your legs, feel your hips. Notice how your breathing has changed. a little deeper, a little easier, a little freer. When the hips open, they don't just increase flexibility, they improve stability, circulation, gait, balance, and even how your pelvic floor supports movement. For many men, this also brings back a sense of power, the kind that comes from better blood flow, better coordination, and a body that finally moves the way it's meant to. Do this routine 2 to 3 times per week. Move slowly, give your body time. Within a few weeks, you'll feel the shift, standing taller, walking lighter, and reconnecting to strength that never truly disappeared. It was simply waiting behind tight hips and dormant muscles. Your body remembers. Now it's waking back up.